Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church in Columbia, South Carolina, where we're part of the ELCA. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. One of the things we talk about a lot and celebrate at Redeemer is our church family. We are a happy collection, people who share our joys and sorrows together in love. In some ways, this represents the best of what a church is supposed to be, brothers and sisters in God's family. This week we are continuing our year-long series of considering the lives of men and women whom the church remembers for their faithful lives and points to them to encourage our own faithfulness. Today, the family thing is important as we consider James of Jerusalem. You might not be too aware of James, although he is mentioned in the Bible several times and may even be the author of the book of James. So, to consider James, we need to begin with something that is fairly controversial, or at least it was for a long time. James was probably Jesus' brother. Now wait, you might be thinking, I didn't know Jesus had any brothers. Well, that's where the controversy comes in. You see, in Matthew 13, Jesus' brothers are named along with some unnamed sisters. Matthew records their names as James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas. Reports about Jesus had gone out, and they seem to be concerned that Jesus was out of his mind, and they go to check on him. As the story wraps up, as Jesus says, "Whoever does the will of God is my mother, brother, and sister." So at least one of the gospel writers knows of their existence, but their existence proved problematic for the early church. A doctrine arose concerning the perpetual virginity of Mary. That would mean that Mary was a virgin before Jesus was born and remained so after Jesus was born. In this view, she and Joseph never had normal marital relations. So where did these brothers and sisters come from? Some early scholars claim that the perpetual virginity of Mary was nonsense and that Jesus was Mary's first child, followed by these others. Other scholars put forth the idea that these were children of Joseph from a previous marriage we know nothing about. These scholars also see support for their view in how these brothers seek to control Jesus. Older siblings had authority over younger, which might indicate they were older than Jesus, which you might expect of children from a previous marriage. Tradition does put Joseph significantly older than Mary, but again, we don't know anything about a previous marriage, and the stories of Jesus as a boy don't mention other children. The most rational explanation is that these were younger brothers and sisters of Jesus, and of these, James is significant. He is recognized very early on as the leader of the church in Jerusalem, and for Jewish Christians, his position there, in the heart of the faith, actually placed him above Peter. There is no indication that James was ever a disciple, but he is listed as one of the apostles. He apparently experienced and saw the risen Jesus and came to faith after that. The first of the 12 disciples to be martyred was James, the brother of John, and some speculate that James, the brother of Jesus, took that James's place among the 12. When St. Paul goes to Jerusalem to hash out whether or not the gospel can be presented to Gentiles directly, it is clear he meets with James, and that James is the leader of the Jerusalem church. His eyewitness testimony about Jesus meant that he remained the most respected and authoritative leader in Jerusalem for most of the first Christian generation. Two stories of James' own martyrdom exist. The Jewish priestly authorities put him to death. One record states that James was stoned to death with some other leaders of the church. Another says that James claimed that Jesus was the Son of God and was thrown from the temple and stoned and beaten to death in the year 66. Being part of the family of God is a powerful gift. Celebrate that and lean on that often. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.